Yo guys, what's up? It's Krypz, and today I'm going to be showing you all the best obtainable Warlock sets in Season 15. Now, all these sets will use armor pieces which are obtainable this season, and if you haven't already, I'd recommend checking out the video I made for the Hunter. But yeah, I will leave timestamps on screen if you want to skip ahead, and if this video does help you out, then please drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And without further delay, it's time we get straight into the sets. So here's the first Warlock set using the Stag Exotic. Now I went ahead and called this set the Desert Walker due to the colour of the set, but also it's quite fitting for this helmet as you cannot shade the bone. Now the other pieces I paired with this is the Meridian Constellation wraps. Now if you don't know, you could get this ornament from this season's pass. Now the reason why I chose these wraps was because they paired really nicely with the Lightkin robes. As you could see, the wrap design going down the arms matched perfectly with the wraps here, and also I think the Lightkin robes are easily one of the best Warlock robes in the game right now, and you can pretty much get the entire Lightkin set from the override activity or by focusing your Umbrella engrams. Then as for the boots, they're from the Prefector set from Season of the Chosen, and in this set with the wrap design we're going with, it flows perfectly together. And then the final piece, which is the bond, is from the Iron Forerunner set. Now this is the new Iron Banner set from this season, and I'd highly recommend picking up the helmet from this set as well. And in this set it really blends nicely with these horns coming out the side matching with the horns on the skull. And then finally, as for the shaders, on the helmet we have Abyssinian gold, which can sometimes be sold in the Brighter store, and then on the wraps, robes and the bond we are using Hake History, and then Hake Camo on the boots. Now Hake History and Hake Camo are both rare shaders which drop from gunsmith packages. Now if you wanted to, you could use Abyssinian gold on the entire set to get a darker look, using the browns that come from the robes to somewhat match with the horns on the helmet. Now I also have an alternative look for this set using the Capriolin Axe ornament. Now this ornament is what gives the stag this mechanical look, and you can currently pick up this ornament for 600 silver from the Eververse archive. But the shader I used for this set was monochromatic to get this really nice white and silver look with a nice white glow in the eye, and you can get this shader from the shader bundle in the Eververse archive. Now if you are new to the game, I'd highly recommend picking up this bundle as it will only cost you Glimmer and give you access to all the Year 1 Eververse shaders. So moving on to the arms, I chose the Moonfang X7 from the Prophecy dungeon. Now this dungeon is free to all players, and I highly recommend picking up the entire Moonfang set. And then the shader I used here was Bitter Pill from the Vault of Glass raid. Now to obtain this shader you will need to complete the Pearl of Glass Triumph. Now the reason why I chose Bitter Pill over an easier shader like monochromatic is because it shaders differently on both sides. Then moving on to the robes, we have the Legacy Oath from the Deepstone Crypt raid. Now if you do like mechanical looks, then I would recommend picking up the entire Legacy Oath set. Now the shader you want to use with this is Cryptic Insignia, which is also from the Deepstone Crypt raid, and you could simply unlock this by opening both secret chests. Then moving on to the boots, you want to use the Namean ornament from this season's Eververse, and then the shade you want to pair with this is Gilded Smoke, which you can obtain by generating orbs in Empire Hunts. And then the bond again is the Iron Forerunner bond with the Gilded Smoke shader, and just like with the normal stag set, is used to match with the horns on the helmet. Now there are some alternatives you can use with this set, for example switching out the boots for the Legacy Oath, and for any of you which don't own Beyond Light, then you can switch out the robes and the boots for the Hazen Lord set from the Vault of Glass raid. And then you want to switch out a few of these shaders with Percussive X Chrome on the helmet, robes, boots and bond. So yeah, just let me know what you think of my stag sets in the comments below. I wanted to make these sets as since they're buffed they've become quite potent in PvP, and I've noticed a lot more people have been asking me to make sets of them, so I do really hope you all like these sets. Now moving on to the second Warlock set, we have this Red Eagle look. Now I wanted to make this set to show you all how well the Claws of Amkara pair with the Meridian Constellation robes, as well as the Namean hood. Now if you're wondering how you could get every piece in this set, the helmet and the boots are from this season's Eververse, with the helmet here being sold in the Brighter store during week 13. The arms are the Claws of Amkara exotic from World Drops. The robes are the Meridian Constellation robes from this season's Eververse. The boots, like I just mentioned, are from the Namean set. And then the bond is the Celestial bond, which is from the Celestial set in the Eververse archive. Now the shade you want to use on the entire set is Rose Scale, and you can get this from this season's Crucible. Now an alternative shade I'd recommend from the shader bundle is Midnight Talons. Now with this shader you can switch out the bond for Ego Talon from Legendary Engrams, and as you can see it flows perfectly into the set. Now another alternative you can use with this set is the Pericus Investment. Now with this set the glow pairs really nicely with the yellow and also the hologram of the bond, although the only way you can get the glow is from going flawless in trials. Now the helmet can also work really well here, although the red visor cannot shader, so I would recommend going back to rose skill if you do plan on using this helmet. But yeah, just let me know what you think of the set in the comments below, and now it's time to move on to the third set. So as you can see, this is the third Warlock set, and it's a bit of a darker look with the necrotic grip exotic. Now as for the pieces I used, the helmet is from the Iron Forerunner set, and like I mentioned earlier, this set is from this season's Iron Banner, and any shader you want to use here is Boreal Char, which is a shader that can sometimes be sold in the Bright Dust store. The arms are the necrotic grip exotic, and it pretty much gives off this really nice green smoky effect, and this is pretty much perfect for like a Halloween set as it does give off that necromancer look. And then again we are using the shader Boreal Char. Now as for the robes, we have the Scorned Baron robes from Legendary Engrams, and I'd say this is one of the best obtainable robes from Engrams right now. You don't even have to use it for like a necromancer look, you could even pair it into a scavenger set. And then just like the arms and the helmet again, we are using Boreal Char. Then the boots are the Prefectus boots from Season of the Chosen. And just like with the first set, these robes have a wrap design and these are perfect for that look. Now the shade you want to use on these boots is Abyssinian Gold, and this is another shader which can sometimes be sold in the Bright Dust store. And then finally the bond is the Dreambane bond from the Shadowkeep campaign, again using Abyssinian Gold. And pretty much the entire set from Dreambane is good for like a bit of a scavenger look. Now don't worry if you don't have these shaders, as you can also use Amethyst Veil, and this shader will be sold in the Bright Dust store during week 11. Now the only issue with using Amethyst Veil on this set is the fact that there is some blue on the boots. Now you could instead switch them out for the Iron Forerunner boots, and they could work pretty well in this set here. You could even use the Ophidian Aspect exotic if you really wanted to, and if you have the Caduceus Ornament this can work as well. Now some other robes which work really well with this look is the Prodigal robes and also the High-Minded Complex. Both of these robes are obtainable through Legendary Engrams, but I'm going to show you what else you can do with these Prodigal robes. So as you can see, you can actually pair this with the Getaway Artist exotic. Now some other pieces I recommend using is the Calamity Rig, as these are quite clean looking boots. Then you can also switch out the helmet for the High-Minded Complex from Legendary Engrams. And then as for the bond, you could switch out for something quite minimal. So here we have these nice uncommons, which I'd highly recommend if you don't want anything too flashy. And as you can see, when we use all these different year 1 shaders, you can see that the set flows really well together. And if you don't like the little bits of red that can't shader, then you can use the shader Rose Scale from this season's Crucible. And if you also have the ornament Arian Swagger, then this will also get rid of the red, although add some glow and also white. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire set. I know I deviated quite far from the original look, but I really wanted to show you all some great scavenger alternatives. But yeah, just let me know what you think of the set in the comments below, and now it's time to move on to the final set. As you can see, the rest of the set has this really nice purple and white colour scheme, and I think overall it's a great set for newer players which like using the blink ability. Now if you didn't know, you could get the Transversive exotic from World Drops. The arms again are the Meridian Constellation from this season's pass. The robes are the Moonfan X7 from the Prophecy dungeon. The boots are the Calamity Rig from the Crucible set. And then moving on to the bonds, we have the Beyond from Legendary Engrams. And then finally, as for the shaders, you want to use Arctic Pearl on the entire set except for the wraps. And then on the wraps, you want to use Dawn and Dusk. Now the great thing about both these shaders is that they are from the shader bundle in the Eververse archive, so you will already have access to both these shaders. Now an alternative shader you could use with this set is Amethyst Veil, and the great thing about this shader is that it's going to be sold during week 11 in the Bright Dust store. Now I also found that the Righteous robes are a great alternative for this set. It's a really nice minimal piece, although the only issue here is that there is a bit of clipping with the bond. Now although this set is from Season of Dawn, Zhu will sell it at some point during this season, so I definitely keep an eye out on what Zhu is selling. Now going back to the Moonfang robes, you can also pair it with the Transversive steps with the Mindstriders ornament. Now this ornament is going to be sold in week 11 in the Bright Dust store, And also the helmet I switched out for is the Hood of the Great Hunt from the Last Wish raid, and I would recommend getting the entire Last Wish raid set for the Warlock. Now if you can use the Mindstriders ornaments, then I would just recommend switching out the bond for the Fragment of the Prime. With Xeno Silver, the glow is somewhat similar, and you could get this from the Vault of Glass raid. And a final alternative I want to show you all are the Philomath robes. Now when paired with Dreaming Spectrum, creates a really nice pink shine, and this is easily one of the best shaders in the game due to it working with so many armor pieces. And just like the helmet, the shader comes from the Last Wish raid, and these robes can also look really nice with the Crown of Tempest exotic. As you can see, I switched out the bond for the Hodu Centris from Legendary Engrams, and then went and used Metro Shift on the entire set. So yeah, they are pretty much all the sets I wanted to show you all. Go ahead and let me know which one was your favourite in the comments, and feel free to leave any alternative pieces for other people to see. But yeah, if this video did help you out, then please drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Also go ahead and join my Discord if you haven't already. We are almost at 6,000 members, and it's a great place to share your fashion. And as well as this, we are having a Halloween fashion set competition where all the winners will be featured in an upcoming video. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching and for all the amazing support. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.